Hello, everybody, and welcome to WC SideShow 23. We have a lot of topics to cover today, but first I'm going to introduce you to everybody. We've got, to my left, Jano. We've got
Hey
Nova
guys.
Kane.
Hello.
And we have Dada King.
Hey.
We're going to start off with our discussion on the veteran storage units, or the veteran buildings, actually. And we'll start with the storage, since that's what I've already talked about. And that increases your storage size, lowers the power usage of these buildings, and it also requires thorium to upgrade, and it has a maximum of 5 veteran units, along with all the rest of these buildings. I'm not going to keep repeating myself, and they all require thorium. So.
And time.
And yes, they do all require time, which sucks.
Yeah.
Actually, the storage units, they take what?
12 hours,
12
I think.
hours?
Yep.
Yeah, 12 hours. And then the actual storage building, that's what, 5 days for every unit, or for every level? Do you guys know?
Yeah, I think it's 5 days, and I think it's 2 days on the, just short of 2 days on the War Factory, and then it's 5 days on the storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was approaching, I think, close to 6 days. It was like 5 days and some odd hours.
Yes. Which I thought the point of thorium was to eliminate the time.
Yeah, but hey, on a surprising note, though, you can stash some thorium now in your base.
Yeah, you can hide it in your storage area.
Yes.
I mean, if you're getting close to getting your Titan to maxed or your Vanquishers to maxed or something, and you've got the res all hidden in upgrades, you might as well grab a few extra depots, throw that special op on, and you're able to pull it off and get a few upgrades done at once. So that's pretty cool too. I like the idea of that.
Yeah, it is nice to be able to bank some thorium for a change.
Yeah.
Well, there's the storage building, and you can see it takes the 4 mil thorium, which is a lot in 5 days. But you can also get up to, what is it, like 35.8 storage now? 35,800. So it's a nice increase.
Yeah, and probably, like you can see, as that graphic shows right there, it shows the ability to put from 6 Vanquishers and 6 Mega Tanks up to the 8.
That's gonna be killer.
Hello. What's going on?
Yeah, it will be nice. And we've also got our lovely oil and pumps and oil storage capacity increases, along with the metal.
Nice. Does anybody know what the total of the oil, when they're all maxed out, what your base is going to hold?
No, I don't. Do you, Jano?
I believe if you do not have compressed resources, I believe with the max now at level 15, I think you can hold close to 42 or 46 million, I believe I was told.
Okay.
So that'd be comparable to like having the compression done.
Yes.
More or less, yeah.
Unless you have it done, then you'll have even more.
Oh man, now you're talking buku res in your base. Wow.
100 mil in the base.
Yeah, and that really comes in handy though when you can hold 8 million thorium now. If you think about it, 4 million in storage and 4 million in an upgrade, you can get a lot of stuff done.
I feel like that's going to bring on the rise of the farmers again.
Yeah, because I was going to say that's going to really suck filling up once you run out. And then we've got
another interesting aspect too from the graphic. Yeah. Oh, Ash, that graphic you had up too. Also, did that show a reduction in power?
Yes, it does. There is a reduction in power.
Yeah, we missed that. I saw that as well. Yeah, the 10 for the storages, which they aren't very big, but was that the other one? The actual producers themselves, they went down 75 or 95. I think that said.
95. Both the storage and the factories, both,
So power is going to be a lot of excess power for a while again.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that, you max all them out, minus 100 for each one. There's, that's close to 1,000 less power. So that's one platform. It's an additional platform you've got running right there. So
Yeah,
If you
get them
think
all done.
about
You
it,
can move some power out, make some space for some resources.
Indeed.
if you think about it, though, why are they doing this? Are they going to be adding to it? Are we
Oh,
getting more
yes.
turrets? Are we getting?
This is the move to the next move.
Well,
We just don't know what the next move is yet.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, we talked about this before. We're at veteran level 15 units already. We're going to 20, and we're going to have, you know,
20 is just a stepping stone.
yeah, at this point.
Well,
So
everybody better be getting those storages upgraded here pretty soon then, because they're going to be needing those maxed out storages in order to do those upgrades.
yeah, don't slack off. A lot of people did like they did the extra thorium storage. Get out there and get these things done. These are important. They're going to come into play at some point. So
One of the most important, I think, personally, is actually, I just passed it, the War Factory. And the reason for this is because it actually lowers or reduces the space that units or vehicles take up.
Yes, yes, which means more in tunes, more base defenders.
That's right.
What I don't like about it is I have mine upgrading right now, but the storage, for example, takes almost 5 days to upgrade, even with 4 million thorium and like almost 30 million metal and oil. I don't know why they're doing that. Why don't they just leave it the way it is with the units, where it upgrades automatically?
Because
It slows down a little bit.
Yeah, they're trying to switch it up so that it slows you down. The units are different. You need them there and then. These stuff are like, how can I say it? They're just like a luxury as a high level player.
Yeah, at this point, and they're also, as Data was saying earlier, it's a place to bank some resources. You can finally bank 4 million thorium for 5 days.
yeah.
Well, for this one, it's only a day and a half for this one.
Well, yeah, that one, but the storage, I think,
Storage.
is 5 days, or even a day and a half. Though most of the time, you only need it for a couple hours.
These are end gamers upgrades. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, without question, they're end gamer upgrades. Without question. I mean, the only part, like you said, the only people that are going to see the benefits of this are the people that have the storage capabilities to do all this stuff. You're not going to see low levels doing this, and they can't hold 4 million.
Exactly.
So you're not going to see a lot of them get that done. And and I commend it. I commend the control that they're doing, putting time on it, time restrictions on it, because, like you did say, and that was the perfect example. It is an end game thing. So if they were to make these all instant, you could have a player go out there, and we all know clans and groups give help and friends give help. You can have this stuff done, wrapped up real quick, and be out there causing serious damage. Because with the addition of, like Kane said, you can put more storage and more stuff in tunes. You become more deadly. It's just a numbers game. More DPS in a tune.
8 of any of your heavy tanks in a platoon is going to be an issue for even the best base. It may not. I mean, it's not going to bubble, but you're going to feel a platoon of 8 megas with warheads or 8 vanquishers or something like that. You are going to feel that platoon.
10 Hellfires.
It's not just the attackers though. It's also the defenders. Like Data said earlier when we were talking, you're going to be able to fit more units in your base to defend it. So I mean, you're going to have more repair time once flattened, but we're going to have more defenders there too.
Oh yeah, I mean, we think about a little math that's reduced. Units that are under a space cap of 30 receive no reduction.
Yeah,
so that means all the units larger than a 30 capacity receive a reduction based on the level of your upgrade. Now that means you're going to be able to fit every single unique unit in your base tune. All 3 Widows, both Crusaders, both Vipers, plus additional units in support of those. Like Kane said, you're going to see a lot of repair times.
Yes,
a lot of
there's definitely going to be some repair times coming in.
Yeah.
I mean,
guys, make sure. I'm going to cut in here quickly. Just for the viewers out there, make sure you're on the Twitch chat link or connected to it, because obviously we've got a moderator, Jack Steller, who's actually explaining quite a lot of the stuff that we're talking about right now in more detail.
Very true. Thank you for pointing that out. We also had some other things that came in recently, and that's the level 6 components for the Raptor and the Valkyrie. For any of you that use either of those units, I think they're pretty significant because, I mean, with the components, you not only get the added, damage done by them and protection or whatnot, but you also get less space that they take up. I think they're taking up like 400 space now for any.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the Valkyrie with the mods and the speed boost, that is a machine right there.
Yeah. Yes, the Valkyrie with the combustion engine. That's
jet propulsion or whatever.
Yeah,
engine.
the jet propulsion. Yeah, what's available in the gear store. That is a must-have for Valkyrie users, and a must upgrade to level 6 and equip. We're talking. I believe it's now at level 6. It's plus 400 speed.
300, I think it still is.
Is it 300?
I think this. Yeah, because it was level 6 right away, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple items that you could get that were level 6 right away. Most people that have them will know. They'll look in there and see they're already maxed out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, they did have that available at level 6 already. That's right. Yeah, they did have a couple of those. But still, even though, nonetheless, to equip level 6 suicide vest, to equip faster reload on your cannon with the extended range, and just if you're going to use them for anything now, the space requirements for level 6 are so much cheaper that they're that much better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
there's a pretty face right there.
Yeah, welcome Anthony to our little.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey Tony, how's it going?
Anyway.
Hey, it's Anthony. What's up, bud?
Jano, you like to use those Valkyries with those super speed. I know we were playing around with them one time, and you were like, they're crazy. You want to talk about them at all? How you use them?
I just chase down the enemy units. Basically, they can shoot and move at the same time, so that's really good. In a base, they're pretty much unstoppable unless you've got Banshees or Titans. Obviously, you'll just end up suiciding your Valkyries on them because they can shoot at air units. Other than that, if you take in Elite Warhawk without the schematic.
Oh shit! Murió mi teléfono y estaba en un video, estaba en el internet ahorita.
And prior to the issue with the units.
Was that a fire drill?
Yeah, that sounded like one. But anyway, prior to the issue with the units losing their customizations when put in a depot, did you used to use them in there a lot? Anybody? The vaults with the speed?
Oh, I did. I used them because they're what you usually see is a lot of people going after your depots with just air. So if you know who's hitting you and where they're hitting you from, you drop some Valkyries in there with the suicide vest or whatever it may be, right at the spawn spot. That's how I was defending them, and it seemed to be working pretty well.
Yeah, I love the Valks in my base for defense.
Mm-hmm.
They are critical to my PvP defending.
Yeah, they're highly useful.
Good. All right, well, let's move on to the Viper and Viper X capacity reduction in that new update that came out. Now they can actually fit in bunkers and towers, your storage set, or not storage, but they're protected. Are you guys using them like that?
Actually, I was told that was a bug.
Really?
Yeah, being able to put your Vipers in your bunkers, that is a bug or a glitch, and it's being looked at and addressed as we speak. Do not get used to it. So
well, that's good to know. I didn't really think it was that great of an idea. Now, Jano, on the other side, he was, I think, trying it out or thinking about it. You want to talk about it, Jano?
Yeah, it's a bug, so don't even bother trying it because it's going to get fixed sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that works.
It's just pretty cool.
And it's just logically, it just doesn't work. It's a unique unit. It shouldn't be able to fit inside of a bunker, a big armored up person inside of a suit.
Even though from the point of them actually releasing those units, it's always said that you can fit them in bunkers. Just
Yeah, there's been ways people have messed with it. Yeah.
Said, but the only reason why they weren't fitting in there is because of the cap.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've reduced the cap, you can actually fit it in there.
Yeah.
So not in the bunkers. But anyway, they are smaller, or they take less space anyway.
Helpful in base defense and in platoons.
Yes.
Definitely. So anyone who doesn't have the Viper X, I'd go get it. But anyway.
Or keep trying to get it, and we'll get into that later too. I'll talk about that a little bit too.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about those 45s.
Yeah.
But anyway, since we're talking about bases, what about the 30 and 35s? You guys been having issues finding them?
What 30 and 35s?
Exactly. What ones?
Do they have?
Other than today? Today was pretty good in my sector. It looked pretty nice. But through the whole weekend, the whole Spectre weekend,
from the start of the event until pretty much this morning, they were an issue. There was a lot of 5s and 10s all over, clumped together.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not see a ton of 35s.
Yeah.
Occasional 30s, but 35s were pretty much non-existent.
Yeah, I saw clusters of 5s, clusters of 10s, clusters of 15s, and clusters of 20s. There were no high-level rogues for 30-plus players to hit on the map. Very few and far between. We're talking, an occasional spawn of 3 or 4 in an area, and then they're hit and gone for the next hour, and you have to wait till or you have to search the map to find them again. So that was pretty difficult. Yeah, it was pretty difficult throughout the course of the weekend, to keep, for the average player to keep res in their base and keep things going and keep playing.
I know in the sector that Jan was in, that I'm in right now, in 19, there's actually a lot. But
there is as of this morning.
Yeah, in my old sector in 229, it was like trying to find a fish in a lake. You couldn't even get one.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully, like we said today, they it's changed a little bit. Sectors are looking a little better. So hopefully they got that taken care of, and we don't have to experience that again.
Well, good. All right. What about Operation Cerberus?
Woohoo, Cerberus!
I know there was a lot of issues with bases not being there and stuff, but for those of us who were able to play, I mean, did you guys enjoy it?
I went through the whole event, didn't have any issues at all as far as finding my base, having it pop up. I know there was quite a few in the sector that did, but it was, the event overall wasn't bad. The awards were good. It wasn't too hard as far as getting up to the Wave 91.
See.
At least for the higher levels. It's hard to say for the low levels.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody got anything to say about that trophy? Yeah, I'm just going to say this one time, and I'm going to leave it be. For that trophy to even be remotely worth going to Wave 151, it needed to serve a purpose. I don't care if it gave the base defenders a 1% advantage from what they have right now. To fight to go that high, you pretty much, in my opinion, would have to at least coin to do it in the 5 days. A little bit, maybe not a lot, but I don't think a trophy should be put out of reach of the normal player.
Kate, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it should do something, and I think they introduced it in the wrong way. Like you said, for it to have some kind of use, it had to do something. For us to achieve and get to Wave 151, to get a piece of furniture to put in our living room that no one ever sits on, and Grandma covers in plastic and smells like pee, and nobody wants to touch. That's what that thing's going to turn into. It should have been introduced in a manner in which these are new trophies that are going to be introduced for events. You need to achieve elite status to get these trophies, pass such and such waves, beat big time bosses, do things you've never done before. And in turn, from doing this and achieving this, you'll receive 5% reduced repair times during all future events if you obtain these trophies.
Anything would have made it worth it. And I do think that 151 is a little ridiculous level-wise. I think in the between 110 and 120 would have been fair. I agree. I made it right to 91 and I stopped. If I wanted to continue playing without spending, and just playing the game, enjoying the game, I think 120-ish would have been a good area for me, and I'm a high level 39. So, it's definitely not going to be something for a level 30 player to even think about.
No.
But it needs to serve a purpose. I like the idea. I would love to have a trophy for each event. I really would. It would show dedication to the game, time of playing, veteran, whatever you want to call it. But it needs to be worth something. Something.
Yes.
Well,
but Cerberus was awesome, though.
The event was good. The event was good. The only issue I had with the whole thing was that trophy.
Yeah.
What did you think of those bases there? You guys like the compounds versus just having a regular one single base?
I like the fact that it was new. It was something new again with an off the wall new thing that we haven't seen, and that's what keeps it interesting to me is the new thing. There's something that I know they can't do it every time, but I like that they've been throwing stuff in. They had the underground and the island waves. Now this, they're starting to show a pattern of some nice, good ideas that change the events.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It could have. I think the satellite bases could have used a little tweaking. Maybe just the style of approach to them. Maybe some of the restrictions be lifted, and you know, some changes be made as far as the XP earnings and stuff like that. But other than that, it was great. You know.
I thought it was a good change up for sure.
It was. A lot of wasted XP, though, was the theme for this event.
I'm glad you said that, Data, because I wasn't even thinking about XP, which is you know, for the lower players is a concern because they're behind on units.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't notice it because I mean all I had to do was get the wave stuff. So
yeah.
So, but that is there was some minor discrepancies in the XP and the way it was set up, but.
Well, yeah, I mean that's where the whole that's my whole point with the whole satellite bases came into play, is that, you know, players like us that didn't really have a lot of things or anything to unlock, you know, needless to say, but, you know, they're giving us all this XP and we've got nothing to spend it on. So what's the point of me having to destroy 2 satellite bases to earn a bonus XP when I don't need XP at all? So I was being forced to either take repair times or waste time attacking, you know, satellite bases that I didn't need to hit.
Yeah.
But I had to destroy them to go for the core.
Yeah,
destroy them.
That falls back on a topic that we have probably beat on so many times. The XP, we need to buy something with that. They need to give us players that don't need nothing, something. Some thorium, some gear, some metals to use in the gear shop, something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something that you don't necessarily have to get as a unit, that it can just be used up.
Reduce the repair time for 48 hours. 15% reduced repair time for 48 hours. Double platoon speed on the world map for 48 hours. You know, I could sit here and rattle off 15 to 20 things that we could probably sit here and spend XP on, and we all could do the same thing. I think it just needs to be implemented at some point. If they're going to go down this route of making things mandatory for us to hit, giving us big XP, giving us wave prizes to kind of balance it out a little bit, just give us that little something to spend the XP on. I think it would be a happy medium for everybody.
Yes.
Agreed. I kind of liked what you said about the speeding up the, you know, repair time or whatever. Make like a special op that's unique just for the events. That we
that you can buy only at the event.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, you know, and he had to, you know, and the reduced repair time. You could use increased ground platoon storage size by 100. You know, you could the options are endless.
They're limitless. I mean, any aspect of the game you could throw on an op.
Exactly.
But I mean, realistically, we can hold what, 9 ops? I think.
Mm-hmm.
9 ops. So I mean, it's not like we're going to get out of control. You're going to have 100,000 XP left over. It doesn't matter. You can still only buy 9, but just to be able to buy those 9.
Jano's right. 12. You can hold 3 in reserve.
Okay.
The original 9.
So 12, but even 12.
13 with 1 active.
12 would
Actually,
be
12. 15. I'm sorry. 15 with all 3 active.
Yeah, so. 15 with all 3 active.
Sorry.
But
I'm a little slow in the math.
but you can only buy 12. So even if they made them, they could make them quite ridiculous. You know, I mean, if it was something like, for example, like you were saying, double platoon speed on the map. You know, it's 30,000 XP.
But isn't that what the hooker is?
It is.
Speeds up all your platoons.
For an hour, yes. I'm talking about something off that chart.
Yeah, you don't have medals. You're in the event. You don't have medals.
Yeah.
You're not hitting rogue bases. You didn't earn that special op, but you have plenty of XP.
Yeah, it's something. It would need to be something unique to the event. Something you couldn't buy in the store or get beaten a rogue. It'd be something specific.
650 XP. You know, just throw a number out there. 650 XP. You want reduced repair time for 48 hours? 25,000 XP.
Yes, something like that.
What you guys are saying is you want a special op specifically in the event.
No.
It's an idea. No, we want something to spend. We want something to spend our XP on during the course of the event. I mean, I have nothing to buy. I have nothing to buy. Only have to wait for epics.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. You want it from the event only.
Yes.
And when the event is over, you still want it in your inventory so you can use it whenever you want.
No. It's event only.
Okay,
it's event only specific.
Yeah, I was talking to buy.
If you buy it, whenever. You should be able to use it
whenever.
You should be able to buy it just during the event. I think it should be like an event prize.
Yep.
Personally, I don't know. It should
Yeah.
be like an event prize. You buy it during the event, but you can use it any time.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking, because I mean, I don't maybe need 25% reduced repair time for the event. I would rather buy something that I could use, you know, later when I go to war, or I'm, you know, actually playing the game and doing PvP and all that, you know, and it would be something that, hey, you got it for, you know, like Data said, 24 hours, you know, reduced repair time or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason I said 48 hours because actually some platoons, you know, like a base platoon, you can put all your uniques in it. You're going to spend a couple days repairing your platoon, so you'd have to make it useful, you know, or give it the full use. But I like the whole idea of having specific ones that are event only, help you in the event. I don't see a reason why you can't have additional ones that you can carry over after the event.
Here's my question, Data, though. The ones that help you during the event, like you said it yourself, you already make it through the events. You're current on prizes.
Mm-hmm.
So the next event, why do you need something to help you further yourself in an event that you already know you can do because you've already done it and you don't have anything so you're just basically recycling that XP back into the event for nothing.
For me specifically, yeah, but for a player that is going for one specific prize,
this would only be beneficial to the people that already have everything because they don't need XP.
Exactly. That's why you should be able to use it any time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And those would be great prizes for like someone wanting to spend more XP. You know, for like those of us that had over 100,000. And then you could have lower value prizes, like maybe, you know, get 1,000 thorium for, you know, 50 medals or not medals, 50 XP. You know, something lower.
Or like a percentage
people that just
fill.
want to spend. Yeah.
Like a percentage fill, you know, fill 25% of your storage tank for this much XP, or, you know, fill 100% for this much XP.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't really matter. I mean, they could get, I shouldn't probably say this, but they could even get stupid with the XP cost of the stuff because it doesn't matter. We just want something, you know? It doesn't really...
They have like 1,000 or 2,000.
Oh, they would need some stuff for the lower levels still because I'm sure, but again, a lower level's probably going to need prizes.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, you know, you think about the way the player approaches the game, too. You know, now that the player sees, oh, well, this prize is way better than this one, why do I want to get this and do all this upgrade and do all this tech when this unit is just flat out better at just an upgrade? For example, like the Vanquisher. I'll go for the Vanquisher. It's flat out. It's better than the most souped up
mega tank you can have.
So, like, why would I go for the mega tank and get all the tech and try to waste on that, and I just go right for the Vanquisher?
For this,
so, I mean, you know, like I would skip the Widowmaker. You know, I would skip I would go right for the Prime. I would, you know, there's things I wouldn't go for the Warhawk. I would go right for the Hellstorm, and so on and so forth. But I mean, that's all individual based. But I like overall the way they were doing it, and I think, you know, if they just, you know, were kind of nitpicking, if you be honest. I mean, it was a pretty solid event.
It was a very solid event.
Topic. Let's go ahead and change.
That's what I mean.
What event prize was your all's favorite?
What event prize?
Man.
Was there one?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know at this point. It's tough to say.
I mean, realistically, it was the Banshee with the mods. It was my favorite prize because it was the only prize. And without the mods, it was the Banshee to the Warhawk is basically the only difference is it can shoot air as far as right out of the gates. It's the mods that made it what it is. It's the mods that gave it extra.
Has extreme resistance against damage.
But what damage?
It can take several. Well, it can take at least a good 2 shots at max, 2 to 3 shots at max level with the Blitz.
Yeah. But it's still without the workshop stuff for it, it would have not done the job. I don't think it would have. The workshop stuff, by adding the extras to it, that's really what made it a usable attack and not something just for doing rogues.
And it can shoot air and ground.
Yes,
that's right out of the door. Yeah.
Right out of the door.
Without having the mods.
Yes, that's really was the big difference between that and the Warhawk as far as right out of the gates. But with the mods, they're not even on the same playing field. It's a whole other animal.
Once again, that's for like the high-end players out there that's actually got the capability to go that far up.
Yeah.
You know, just the Banshee alone for normal mid or a normal player that's not as hardcore but's able to get it, they're still going to benefit quite a lot from that unit itself, because you've got to think about it. It's the only air that has the range over
Yeah,
the
for
winter range.
definitely for any low level.
Well, I'm
There's
going to
no
interject
question
here on
about
that one.
that.
It's not going to be useful to a low-level player because simply for the fact that it requires thorium from door one, from day one.
Yeah,
So
Well,
they're not going to be able to
prior
get it
to,
to the.
yeah.
They're not going to be able to get it to the level where it outranges things and becomes more useful. It's just a flying turd until it gets up to max range, and we all know that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, really, I'm just being realistic here. I don't want to pull the wool over anybody's eyes that has this thing. It's literally until the range is maxed on it. It's really not useful to swap out this air for another one. If you, like Jano said, if you encounter a low-level blitz and you're that low to mid-level, and yours is an acceptable level, maybe as like a tanking helicopter, to just suck up something, you might be able to find a niche use for it. But to solely replace, I wouldn't advise it until they're max range.
I'll tell you what, it can take a hell of a beating.
Oh,
It can. I mean,
I went up against a max level blitz with that, and I mean, I faced it on head on, and it managed to drop with the combination of the with the Titan, obviously. But I only had three.
Problem is it's not just the
Banshees.
blitz.
Yeah. See, that's what I mean though. For a low to mid level that has it, a small individual tanking unit to take the place of a Titan, because they're not going to have that either, and
Yeah.
to just,
You're
or a
about
Havoc.
to say, you're about to say it's not just the blitz that's in there. Yeah, it's got towers.
Well, that's what I mean for a higher level player. So
It's
to just
got
use that.
Hercules in there, but with that combination, obviously, with the my air combination I had, I didn't have any difficulty because I had the Titan there as a backup. I had Hellstorms there to take any stings and machine gun shots.
Yeah, I'm just
And
talking for the overall general player that's just using them, trying to bulldog a hole into a base with them. It's not just the blitz. It's there's a lot more shooting at those. So in the lower levels, they're not going to hold up like they will at max. Which
now here's the big question.
It's always like that, no matter what. If it's not maxed up, of course, it's not going to be as good as maxed level.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
It just depends on how you're using them.
Would you classify it as the non-fixed wing equivalent of the Raptor? How cheap they are as far as the coin? Because I heard they're very cheap to coin.
I have not used them.
Mine are
I set them up, played with them, and then put them away.
Yeah, I heard they're pretty cheap to coin.
Jana, what have you've got them maxed out? Do you know?
They're pretty cheap to coin, but I wouldn't rely on them like a Raptor. You'd have to have a decent combination of air units to be able to coin. Without that good combination, someone tried to attack me. Let's put it this way: someone tried to attack me with 9 Banshees, fully customized, and Titan behind them or in front of them, whichever it was. And before they could even do 1% damage, before they could even get to 5% damage on my base, they all got dropped. So with the wrong combination, they're really bad. Really, really bad.
That goes with everything, though. I mean, it's if you don't have your stuff set right for what's being used in defense, nothing holds up.
I just think they're too small. I mean, in terms of their range, they're only 385 at max. And I mean, they're a bigger unit than the Warhawk and the Hellstorm, yet they have such a decrease in range. And I believe if the range was better, I think it would be a much better unit.
I thought they were boasting. The whole point of the thing was, excellent range.
It's I don't know why everybody complains about the range. What's the range in a Warhawk and a Cobra? 360.
360.
360. They're 385. What's a Hellfire?
Hellfire's 450.
450.
Hellstorm 450.
Hellstorm's 450.
Hellstorm's 450. Spectre 450. You're talking 380 with a Titan.
And Titan's right around 390 or 380, I think.
I think it's 380. I think with the Titan. So it has good range.
But not to boast. When the way they were boasting it for the event, when you read the little thing on it, I was expecting like in the 4s, low 4s.
Nova, can I just ask you a question? How much did they boast about the bloody damn Halcyon?
I don't remember, to
They
be honest
Yeah.
with you. And
no,
that thing
so
got
much.
bin
They
before it
gave
even
it
got upgraded.
so bloody crap that it ended up being crap.
I know, but I'm just saying they were boasting the range on it, and I was disappointed that it was only
They didn't even bother
385.
it,
But
unlike
they
the
did
Halcyon.
also. They increased it in comparison to when preview was out, so they
Don't
did
sleep
listen
I
on
to
the
wasn't
it.
in preview.
Don't
Yeah.
sleep on the Halcyon. It's going to get good when it gets a schematic.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it will.
It
Just
does.
like it
Do we
became
all know it's
when you put
a
it
ground
into
troop ass
the
kicker. So
Silo.
yeah.
How many times has that thing been changed around? Before you
Yeah,
couldn't put it in the
jeez.
silo, and now you can.
Hopefully they'll come up with the Halcyon to combat the Vanquishers in
Yeah.
in the silo.
But the Banshee guys, I don't think it really had. Well, it had the Peacekeeper and the wing and the drone for it too. They were the other two new prizes that went along
Yep.
with it. I mean,
Can I
I got
just
the
say something
schematic
about
and
the
the regular one.
Peacekeeper?
I didn't get the other twos. Go ahead.
The Peacekeeper on the Banshee is like the worst thing to put on there. I don't understand why anyone in their right mind would actually put the Peacekeeper in there. Bearing in mind that when you use a max corrosion, you get an extreme corroding action going on. Not only that, but you times the damage given out to everything by ×2. So I would always go
So
for the
you're so
corrosion.
what you're saying is the corrosion effect on the schematic is better than the Peacekeeper epic
Yeah,
deck.
by
I've
far.
been finding out that a combination of the two works really good.
Yeah, I was going to say that the corrosion, you can't beat the DPS and the PK,
No.
and you can't beat the effect on the corrosion. I think they're the top two, added weapons to any schematic if they're made available on them. So
Yeah, corrosion is a big one for sure.
yeah.
Oh, one of our random 1896 or 8, he just said that the Elite Warhawk range with the schematic is 385.
Yes, he's right.
With the schematic and the increased
With the
range,
schematic
correct?
and the increased range.
Yeah.
And it shoots air because of the
If you have the
the drone.
wingman. If you have the wingman.
You have the wingman.
If you have the wingman.
But at the end of the scale,
Also, you can equip in the schematic of the Warhawk the cannon that fires at air. So you don't need the wingman with the Warhawk schematic to shoot air.
Correct. So technically, you could mod your wingman to be comparable to, as far as
Realistically,
setup,
the Banshee is still better
Banshee's
because
way more damage.
just like you said, right out of the box, it shoots air without
Yep.
a schematic. So because of its decreased effect on or resistance to damage, I'm sorry, like Jano pointed out,
Which is a big one.
and the amount of armors that you can put on it, and the effects, along with the fact that it shoots air, it just immediately becomes better. It is head and shoulders above the Warhawk at that point. But they're still not. You guys aren't happy with the range, but I like it.
Well, still, overall, we say for this event, thumbs up, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The event overall was very good. Very good.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to the Elite Spectre event since we're talking about events.
What?
It's the Elite Spectre, I guess. They called it Death from Above.
When was this?
Yeah, when did this happen?
It couldn't have possibly been last weekend because I did like 60. I'm sure I did 60 plus 45s.
Nova, you do know there was an easier way of actually getting it, didn't you?
Yeah, we all know your way of getting it, and I'm sure the sector you're in
Since
loves you
since you
for it.
were in the warring sector, I don't understand why you worked so hard to get it.
Okay, I did 60. And out of the 60, I kind of didn't count the ones I stole. And I can't count the ones I killed platoons off of to steal. And I still didn't get that thing. As a matter of fact, I had to buy the Crusader X, the Crusader X with medals that I won doing the 45s, just so I could make sure that the stupid 45 didn't give me that as the prize.
It's funny is we talked about this before the show, and the rate was increased, I believe, to a 5% rate for the unique units to drop within the 45s.
Yes.
No, it was 500%. It was 5 times chance of dropping unique units, all uniques. Not
if
just
it's 500%,
okay. Well, that makes my argument even that more bolstered.
Yes.
I personally have no X unique units. Don't have the Crusader X, don't have the Viper X, don't have the Widow X, and I do not still have the Spectre, the Elite Spectre. So in theory, my odds should have been increased fourfold to at least acquire one of these units. I'm in the same category as Nova. I hit over 50 bases over the course of the weekend, at least 15 a day. And I didn't get anything more than 25 medals. There was something wrong. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody's going to tell me. There was something wrong with the drop ratio.
Yes.
Well, now that you're mentioning the medals, I mean, they were supposed to have a significant increase, or at least an increase.
25 medals at the most.
Higher amount of medals. So.
Yeah. That was false.
I got some good medals. I got some 200s. I got some seriously big medals. I did not have a problem with that. I cream these things for hours straight.
Oh, I'm Joe Pro 45 man now. I can do them with no damage, not touched by anything. I can't lose. I won't lose a unit, and I can do it in like 3 attacks.
In one attack.
No, 3. I'm not 1 attacks. I'm in no rush. I'm in no hurry. It's not a competition. It's not a speed thing. I can do it with no loss. 3 attacks. But it's like it's easy. I know exactly where to deploy, where to go, what angle, what to use, when to use it, boom, done. I can do them that fast and that easy. And to get nothing other than 25 medals per, there was something wrong with it. It's cool. It's cool and all, but I also disagree with the fact that they put an elite, unique unit in the game. Not only that, but they made it available in the 45. It should have been a Spectre X if it's available in the 45.
Which basically all
the X units.
Yes, it should have been the Spectre X even the Elite Spectre. I'm perfectly okay with the concept behind what they did. The idea was solid. Giving a little weekend deal. It was too close to the event. They should have gave it for the bye week between events. It was nice. The problem is that when you do a weekend event like that, it needs to be dialed down so that you can at least accomplish the event. I mean, there was nothing I could have done short of shutting down my actual life to do this, to do more 45s to get that thing. And I feel like I did as much as I could possibly afford to do that weekend as far as time-wise, and still did not get it.
Even if you did do that and completely shut down your life, there was no guarantee you would get it.
Correct.
That's what I did. I shut down my weekend and did 45s through the course of the day, every day.
Yes.
And I got jack squat. And I'm sorry, I'm still adamant about the fact that we should not have gotten an elite unique unit in a 45 as a giveaway. I'm sorry, it should not have been better at any given point of any stat that it has. It just should have been like every other X unit. Faster, less range, maybe a little more health.
Well, I still have yet to see some paperwork on actual differences.
Well, yeah, we've also yet to see that, too.
You know, I busted my butt all weekend to try to get this thing, which I didn't, and I don't even know what it does.
Not only that, but our veteran 15 stats, no, but that doesn't even show it right.
That's veteran, that doesn't show but what the last set is.
That shows 14 stats, not 15s.
I saw some stats on it, and the only difference that I noticed was the health. I believe there's about a 30,000 health difference. Well,
that's something.
It's still the same. The image that Ashley has up right now, the Elite Spectre,
is the same.
Those numbers are numbers for level 14. All level 14.
That's level 15.
My Spectre right now is 14. And my Spectre has those stats.
No, I'm going to go look
right now and get it.
If you look in where do you look for your stats? You look for them in the airfield.
I look for it in the build, and the build reflects the same stats I'm looking at right there. 337.50 for health.
Nova and Data, you're both correct. Well, no, sorry, Data is correct. There is no difference between level 15 Elite and level 15 normal.
Yeah.
The only difference is it actually has greater DPS and it actually has greater health without. It's a hidden boost.
Yeah.
There is nothing showing that it's there.
Either way, the boost, all that's irrelevant. The fact is that you weren't I mean, I know a lot of people. I know one guy that got one in his fourth one. He did 445s and got one.
Yeah.
But I did well over 50, and I did not see anything. And it's disappointing that would even. I mean.
What makes me think the ratio was bad, because I put a poll out, and a couple other people put polls out in their Facebook War Commander group pages, and in 24 hours in my particular page, over 300 people replied and said that they did not receive the Elite Spectre, and I think 40 people said they got it. So that was just in a quick 24-hour poll in my page.
I've seen several polls, and none of them were on the yes side.
Exactly.
All of them were way heavy to the no.
And we all know everybody was out hitting them.
What's up, Dino?
What they could have did was they could have made it like the event with a fortress wave, like just for your base, and it went by your level to accommodate the difficulty of the fortress, so that way you couldn't help others. But at least that way, say if you're a high level like 35 plus, maybe you had to hit 50 and you would actually get it. You know, that would have been fair in that sense. I think that's what they should have done, where you had to hit so many or try to loot it earlier. And if you didn't get it that way, then at least you could get it by hitting 50 or 75 or something.
What you're saying is they should have made it player-by-player basis so that you can't help.
Kind of like they would do an event, same concept, just...
No, because then the method behind that would have... I wouldn't have been able to get my Elite Spectre if that's happened.
Well, I would have been able to do it just fine. I would have been able, because I just hit a gajillion bases like everybody else.
I actually got my Elite Spectre because of someone else working on a 45 that I ended up stealing with their last attack. So I was like, "Thank you very much. You're the enemy, and I'm your adversary."
Yeah, but that's completely random.
I don't think that we should have done it up like a event, because it wasn't like an event. With the event, you have a set goal to reach, and then you have it and it's done. But with this, it wasn't like that at all. It didn't seem like an event. It was more like a drive to try and get it before the time runs out.
It seemed to me like the ratio was highly increased for the player that didn't have the Spectre to begin with. Seemed like the players that didn't have, that's what it should have been. I agree with that. I agree with that aspect, because I know a lot of people that didn't have the Spectre missed out on it originally. Yeah. And we all know it hasn't been around since, and they jumped on the opportunity, and actually they were some of those people that I know that got it with hitting minimal amounts. But, players, like myself and you, who just wanted it for the sake of getting it. Oh my God, man! It was like the Lord of the Rings quest. I felt like we were stretching this out over like 3 movies.
Yes, it was brutal. It was very brutal. I'm very disappointed with that whole setup. I like the concept. I just don't like the fact that, I don't know. I'm sure there's other players out there. I have all the units. I like having all the units. To me, that's something that I like to do. I like to get those units. But it's upsetting that now that unit came and gone, and I don't even have the option to retrieve it when I've managed to get every unit, every event.
That's questionable.
Sure, it will be back.
Like you still, some people are saying that it's still available, that you can still get it. It's just at the reduced rate, like all the other uniques are at.
Yeah, but what is Kixeye saying? Because they're the ones that need to.
Are they going to treat it the same way as the Hellstorms with the Elite Hellstorms, and them not come out, and then we get an X version of the Spectre maybe?
Well, no, they're not going to give us an X version, because just imagine that. I mean, having two Spectres running around in the
I know, but here's the logic behind that. What makes the Spectre that so much friggin' awesome that it's a unique unit and it gets it's a unique unit and it gets the Elite tag that all the other units that they're unique only get the X version. They all get downgraded upgrades.
Even with
everybody was spamming, saying that the form with issues with having the Spectre to begin with. That's why they somewhat nerfed it in a way. And it's also why I think they're not going to do an X version. They probably will never do an X version, because they don't want people to have 2 Spectres. They want you to keep it as one, and that's why they made
even the Spectre now, even it being not really a strong unit as far as like, you can't go in and smash a base with the Spectre like you used to be able to when it first came out. But if you can fly good, you can still chew a base up with that thing before you get anywhere near using the splash properly and flying it right. I mean, you could still do some damage in there.
Yeah, I could care less if somebody came into my base with two Spectres. I could care less. You know why? because there's no way on God's green earth they'd be able to control both of them and target equally.
No,
and
God,
take
no.
damage.
No,
So
it would
it'd
be
be a
one
train
after
wreck
the
in the
other.
sky.
He would use one
Exactly.
at a time. He
It'd be a
couldn't
train
do
wreck
both.
in the sky.
Yeah, and we've seen that in the events where with Spectres, multiple Spectres coming at us and stuff. Yeah, we handle those easily with our bases
Well,
now.
that's why you
No
wouldn't
sweat.
do them both at the same time. You would do one and then the other after the one's dead. But still, it's the
Exactly.
whole point of having more than one.
Exactly.
So,
Ooh.
well, I think we beat that topic up
Yes,
enough.
I agree.
Yeah,
Let's
we
move on to
did.
the next one. We've got the new Custom Units Pack 6 preview. Would you like to start us off on that, Jano?
Well, they've just given us a ton of components for the old units that we've already got on schematics, which is a bit strange in my eyes. Mega Tanks is one of them that's been given the new component. And
When
the
you
other
say
one
component, what do you mean? What do you mean a component? A new
component,
tech?
New
attachment.
tech with
Oh,
We
schematics.
have new text, yeah. There's the cryo armor slot. It goes in the heavy armor slot. You've got the shock armor, which goes in the heavy armor slot, and you've got the corrosion armor, which also goes in the heavy armor slot, all for the Mega.
There you go.
You want to go ahead and talk about, have you tested it out at all?
Yeah, to be honest, I've seen it. I saw a video on it, and I was actually able to see it attack my base. I had some corrosion megas in there, and he attacked me with corrosion pardon me. He attacked me with corrosion megas. The video I saw was even better. Pardon me. I'm choking here. No, the video I saw was the Viper X go against a full platoon of fully upgraded elite megas with the corrosion armor, and the Viper X still handled it easily with 2 to 3 shots. The whole platoon was dead. I think it's what we're seeing with these is just an additional place where we can use up, with the level 6s. So
Yeah, with
add
the
3.
level
It's just going to give us a
6s.
little more armor. I don't see them being that useful for the megas, although the other ones we didn't talk about yet are pretty useful. So.
Well, it also
Yeah.
reduces the space that they take since it goes to level 6. You've got the minus 60% cryo effect and only 400 space.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's for the 6 cryo armor.
Yeah,
And
that's
also-
the Mega Tank stuff. That'll be a mid 20 level stuff for them to look at if they can hold the thorium to get the stuff where it needs to be.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are getting the megas and the elite megas now because of this new
Yep.
things they
Call
have.
to arms.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
call to arms it's pretty successful. I'm seeing a lot of lower level players out there now that
Yeah.
had megas now have elite megas. They're doing a lot more attacking. I'm seeing a lot more players level up a little quicker. So I think that's been going over pretty successful.
All you do is hit 5 bases and you get to unlock the unit. Then you go and hit another 5 higher bases, and then you get to unlock the elite version.
Then
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
can go out
But
and
it's,
get their
it's
high
What
level
are you
friends.
talking
Yeah,
about?
absolutely.
Talking about
As
the Halcyons, the FAV, and the hover tanks are the ones that's getting a high rate ratio on there.
but
The
Ashley,
hardest thing for them is going to be actually getting the resources to upgrade it.
yeah.
Yes, agreed.
Mhm.
But
But it's going to help them. It's going to help them. It's going to help them
is.
hit medium depots. It's going to help them hit larges. We all know the elite mega is 10 times more useful than the regular mega, just solely alone without
Yes.
schematic on it. So, it's only going to. I think it's only going to help a lot more players. And I mean, and your picture shows you don't even have your mega tanks maxed at 15, and you're able to put 3 level 6 techs on that mega tank and still have space left over. So imagine them being upgraded to 15. You still can put 3 with additional tech somewhere else. So
Yeah, and the truth
you can make them pretty
is-
formidable.
I mean,
Oh,
the truth
yes.
is we've pretty much switched from megas to vanquishers, so now I really don't use them at all.
Yes.
But I mean, it's good for lower level players or people who don't have the vanquishers.
Yep.
Yes. It's the go-to if you don't have the Vanquisher, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, up until this past event when I earned the Vanquishers, and I've got them to 15 now, I was using the Mega Tanks with the warheads and the corrosion effect, and they were great. And if I was in the same boat I was and didn't have the Vanquishers, I'd be pining over this. This be the bee's knees, and I'd be talking about it.
Okay, let's move on. We've got the new elite heavy gunners. And you can see they actually have a bunch of new stuff too, even though they are still pretty new with being, I don't know, I guess new compared to the rest, having customizations. You've got the corrosion shells. You have the increased damage from uniques, which is the buckshot, and the eagle shells.
Which here's another thing though. That really is no use.
The
Well,
buckshot?
it might be nice
Yeah,
to use for those.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It's increased damage versus uniques or decreased damage?
Increased.
I'm sorry.
And I'm wondering, I did not get a chance to play with these, but I was looking at some of the options, and I was wondering if that's maxed out and you put those bad boys in a tower, it'd probably be somewhat formidable
That's what I was thinking too.
towards a unique unit coming in, because it literally will shoot air, ground, whatever, and with the corrosion on there, plus the additional damage.
Well, I believe the damage right now for them is like 996. I believe it's just below 1,000 for the heavy gunner, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or maybe, I'm sorry, it might be more now with the 15. I haven't upgraded it. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not
plus
sure.
this, I mean, come on, whatever that is, 60%. I mean, come on, guys, that's big damage, man.
Well, 60% at their fire rate with the corrosion. You know, I mean that's
not
definitely
going to be a lot
gonna.
of missiles at level 10 landing at your base. Let's put it that way, because the missiles are already having difficulty landing.
Yes.
With what's going at it.
That's a very valid point. Is the missiles are going to feel that
Mm-hmm.
pretty much
I mean,
any air.
Missiles
I mean, even
from
if
the
they're just
silos and
900.
missiles from the units itself, and even the missiles from the elite hellstorms. So for the people that's out there, and when this does come out and they go, oh my god, why is my missile's not landing? Well, you just got to think, is there customization to them elite heavy gunners? Because that's what's going to be stopping it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and like Jano said before, these are end gamer techs. You know, these are level 15 techs. These are level 6 techs. These are max workshop techs. These are max res requirement techs. A lot of these things. So, I mean, you know, the average player isn't going to encounter them right away. If they do, you know, it's that person who's got their head on straight and playing the game right if they're at that respectable level. But,
or went crazy on the wrong direction.
And it's not going to be for all of their units. It's just going to be the ones that they're using specifically too.
Exactly. I mean, you know, you're going at 60. You're talking 60% plus damage to aircraft. You know, for what's that? The Eagle shells you have right there. But the other one was 60% for unique units.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know.
And that's not maxed at the 60%, is it?
Oh, it is.
Oh,
yeah, that was
okay.
Yeah,
60% is the max.
So
okay.
I mean, if you're looking at 900 damage, if it's just I'm just throwing a number out. I don't know what the exact heavy gunner damage is at 15, but even if it's 900 damage, 60% of that, you're talking it's up to 1,440 damage for, you know, just the boost with just the shells. So that's pretty respectable at the rate of fire that thing's shooting at too. So it's going to do some damage, and we all know the heavy gunners took care of the Spectre and the Titan pretty much, kind of.
They were definitely the support unit to have out there for when those came in.
Exactly. So
I've just got a question for you guys out there, right? So, what is your best platoon combination currently? Just to break this up, because
best platoon combination for what?
For player versus player.
PvP.
You mean base platoon or tower platoon?
Base platoon. Sorry, platoons that you go and attack players with.
Attacking. If we're talking single platoon, and I'm going to go attack a base, I'm talking full air. I'm going to go in with special op. It's going to give me infantry because I'm not going to waste platoon space. I'm going to go in with probably a prime and a bunch of vanquishers. If I'm going single tune, I'll add, you know, additional ground support with that. You know, maybe a couple of Valks or something. I usually won't go to a base with more than 3 tunes.
Yeah, it's pretty much depends on the base. My first attacks usually involve a tune or two of vanquishers.
Soften it up. Yep.
Maybe a little bit of you know, a Valk or something in there to do some chasing or diverting.
Yeah.
If I've scouted the base or I've already attacked the base, obviously the second attack can be whatever, because now I know what I got to change to handle that base, you know, a little easier. If you need to, you know, depending on what you need to put in the mix, whether you need a couple Hellstorms or Hellfires or a laser tank or whatever. So, but it's
Just kind of fooling around with, you know, I like to, sometimes I'll throw in the Widow X with a few Vanquishers, or I'll just start with a couple platoons, one of Vanquishers, and weaken up the base, and then I'll come in with, you know, a combination of a special op with some ground troops, Widowmaker, then I'll throw the Peacekeepers and the Titan at the base with some air to just kind of take it out.
And we all know you're using a whole platoon of Jackrabbits, Jano.
That's all he needs. That's all he needs, bro.
I know, he brings 50 of them to your base and you're dead, flat.
Yeah, it's hard to say, pin it on just one tune. Yeah, it's hard to pin it on just one tune, bro.
The enemies just keep putting loads of reports down on me in the sector we're at the moment that we're warring in.
Yeah, a lot of crime.
Yes. That seems.
So midnight. What other stuff did they release for the?
That's what I was about to say. Just wait until they release these wonderful Raptors.
Ooh, Raptors. Now here we go. This is a topic I'll touch on.
Yeah, there was a fella that hit me in the preview right before it shut down with these, and I have to say, man, I was impressed. I mean, granted, I didn't have a base tune in at the time, but just for the destruction and damage that they caused, all he brought to my base was Raptors and a Titan. He prepped the outside with the Titan and did the flyby with 2 clusters of Raptors. It's like he deployed first cluster targeted, deployed the second cluster targeted.
Yes.
He was very effective. I don't know what he had on him. I asked him. He was joking around, but it appeared to me as if they had the Peacekeepers, and he had the corrosion on him. But it must have had some kind of other increased damage to buildings, because multiple buildings fell with these Raptors. And the CC, my rocket silo, and 3/4 of my regular silo, and a power plant, and half a thorium storage all fell from the Raptors. I was pretty impressed.
You don't use the Raptors, do you, Data?
No, I tried to upgrade them and get it all done, and I had it all going into the preview, and they shut it down, and I couldn't use them.
The Raptor has, now this is previous, this is out right now, even before any of this stuff that they were in preview, has a level 6, I don't remember what it is, but it's 110 plus 110% damage to the base.
Yeah, I saw that. It was the buildings, and that's what I was about to equip with them, and it was that and
the corrosion
and the Peacekeeper. The Peacekeeper was 60%, I believe, to damage the buildings. So the total to buildings was like 170%. I was like blown away by it. I couldn't wait to use it.
The only thing that I played around with these quite a bit now, because I do use my Raptors. The speed, the plus 30 speed is great. They actually you can shoot 3 of them through and get 1 out the other side, or maybe 2 out the other side, where previously, you know, they're expendable unit. You know, they go in, they don't necessarily come out. But but I definitely like the speed on those, and I'm curious to see about the Peacekeeper. My understanding is that it cannot get shot down.
Yeah, it's like a regular standard payload from the Raptor. It travels at such a fast speed that when it drops its payload, nothing responds to it.
Yes, it can't get shut down, which is.
But I believe the other tech that I was going to equip was the one that offers the strafing machine gun fire. That was the one that did the building damage. Yeah, that was the one that I was using along with the Peacekeeper, and that was good. That was going to. I determined they were going to die anyway, so I wanted to cause the most damage, and I think that was the best setup. Try to make them cheap.
Personally, my favorite thing out of all these, it has to do with the new Hercs, or the new things you can put on the Hercs. I've never really been a big Herc user, but I think they're starting to actually make them worth using because of the damage, you know, that they get and the repair time they take. I've never really used them, but they're starting to look a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, the 50 range is going to be phenomenal, and once you put corrosion on them, which I believe you can with this update that's coming, and the plasma cannon, I don't know what can be mixed and matched, but there's a lot of good options. There's a lot of good options to put them together.
We got for that too. Yeah, you got the Punisher cannon.
Yes.
You also have the new armor that was given away in Cerberus, I believe. There was an armor. Was it Cerberus?
Yes.
That gave us the armor. That was the wave prize. Yeah, there was an armor
wave
there, and
21,
then there was,
I think.
yeah, and then there was also a laser cannon too. So we're talking a gear, event prize, armor, plus this update with all the other stuff on it. Herc's got a facelift.
I attacked the
they
one
even
guy's
do
base.
corrosion now.
Yeah. I
Corrosion
attacked
is always
Corrosion's
good.
really nice.
He
Too many
had.
people talking.
Sorry, guys. I attacked one guy's base. He had full of them. He just had a base full of Hercs, and he had the laser cannon, and that sucker was nasty. It took my Titan down pretty quick. So the problem with the Hercs has always been the repair time. It's pretty.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
like
it's
you
pretty
said, with
long,
that
but it's
50
actually
range.
starting to pack a punch. I mean, yeah, that 50 range was a big increase. I think the corrosion's a huge increase, and then you also have the damage versus unique increase.
Mm-hmm. So what? So just so we give people a little bit of numbers, the max range for Hercules is what? Does anybody know off the top of their head?
Oh, I don't.
No, I do not.
I've never used them, to be honest. I mean, you see mine are
Yeah,
on level 13.
Yeah, I'm not
Let me check. Let me check.
I'm thinking it's around 365.
Yeah,
380
sounds
range.
real close. It
I
is.
know in a base they outrange your Hellstorm.
They are 360.
Okay, so there's 360 standard out of the box. They match the range of any max air unit. We all know they get a 20% boost, standard and base defense. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that puts them up to a 432 range. Now they're going to give at 432. They're going to be given an additional 50. Going to bring them to 482. 482 range total for the Hercules. That means it will outrange everything. Not only it already did, but now it will for sure hit the Spectre every time it comes around. It will smoke. It will smoke a Hercules, or I'm sorry, a Hellstorm before it even decides. Or I'm sorry, yeah, a Hellstorm before it even decides
launches a missile.
Before it even decides to do something.
Is
Not
there
only that, but it's going to take all your drones down for all your stuff before any of it even gets close to range.
Is there a range upgrade for this also in the workshop? I believe one of the things gives it a range.
There is, yeah.
Yes, there is a 25 plus 25 range, which takes it over 500.
Oh, okay. So not only in the pilot training it gets the range. That's where the range in the pilot comes from.
Yep.
The main hand cannon gives an additional range as well?
No, the pilot training gives an additional.
Pilot training gives it plus 25 if you have it maxed.
Well, well, hold on. If you guys look at the image that Midnight's sharing with us, it's the Excel
takes that
optics,
slot up.
and that takes the pilot training. So that's where
so
that
it actually just doubles that. You get 25.
It just doubles
you get
that.
50. Okay.
Yeah, it goes to 482 as the total. Given it,
Still, 482 is quite high.
That is big time. But that's just versus air. So if you're going to attack a ground unit
range,
with it,
it's ground and air. This one is.
Oh, wait a minute, is it?
It's plus range. Yes, it's ground and air both.
Yeah, the plus 20 is only for air.
All right, so I just want to add. Yeah, I just want to make sure we're clear.
So
482 is the max
410.
range. Yeah. So then minus
You're at
20%. That would be 385.6.
Well, it's 360 out of the gates, and then you add in 50, so that's 410.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you're right.
Whatever it is, it's a massive amount.
Yes,
and
it is.
You're going to feel it no matter what.
And
so 410, that matches ground troops, so that matches max mega range, right?
I see that being
Problem.
an issue for Raptors.
Is there anybody questions while we're talking about this? Anybody want to put any questions you have in the chat, and we'll go ahead and try and get those answered. What do you guys think about this update overall, or this possible update that may be coming out tomorrow or Thursday is what we're expecting?
It's it's more on top of the more we already just had. But I mean, I like this. I mean, some of this stuff they're coming up with is going to be good. I like it. It's definitely going to add, some new challenges to attacking and defending as well. But it's I don't. It seems pretty quick on top of the last things. I mean, we had an event, then we had a weekend event, then we had the building upgrades. Now we got this coming. I mean, I see, I don't know, a couple million thorium wrapped up in the next 2 weeks here.
I don't know why they just continue to pile everything all at once. I mean, can't we just separate it, give us a little space, a little time, even if it's bi-weekly or every other week? I mean, it's all at once again. And
I'm
that's
seeing a trend.
Yeah, it's a trend, but
my trend's something a little different. I'm seeing a trend. I'm seeing a rebalancing of the game. I'm seeing the Hercules. I'm seeing the Hercules now getting the big time air range. I'm seeing the Hercules getting the equal to ground range. I'm seeing the Valkyrie getting a range boost as well. So it's up to a 330 range. I think that gets a total. Plus that gets to 20%. So you're now looking at elite Valkyries matching aircraft ranges and being able to get within striking range before exploding. Before that was the only way they'd be able to do it. So I mean, you're going to see a lot of things changing.
You don't feel that there's a balance right now at the moment?
No.
Okay, because I think that there's a real good balance right now for the high levels. There's never going to be a balance from a 32 to a 38 or a whatever, but from 35, I'd say 35, 36, that's on top of their stuff going upward. There's a real good balance.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're mid metamorphosis right now. To be honest with you,
I think they're trying to bring the game back from being OP with defense to going back to offense a little bit. If you think about it, now people can put more in their platoons. Now, yes, that helps out with defense as well. But, they are giving defenses against different things now that they didn't have before.
So, yeah, more counters to things. Like I said,
exactly.
The Herc now can hit ground and be respectable, can hold its own.
The dominating unit in the game right now is an offense unit. And all this upgrade that they're putting in on this update, none of that even touches that. It's completely irrelevant to the current dominating unit.
Yeah.
And if you park 6 or 5 platoons of this dominating unit at a base
with your max storage, so now you can put 8 in each one.
Yeah, I mean it's over. It's over. So at the present moment, attack is still OP. In that now you can defend it. I'm not saying it can't be defended. This is why I think that there is a somewhat of a balance right now, is because you can defend it offline. Just hit the repair button when you get on in the morning and sit your hour or your day and a half wait. But if you're live, it can be defended. So I don't know if any of this update has anything to do as far as shifting the balance. It might shift the balance off some OP air, but it sure ain't shifting the balance from the defense side to the attack side. It's already on the attack side.
Yeah. But I don't know. I still think we're getting a lot of new stuff. We're getting all these new building upgrades and stuff, and with the storages and the different sizes, reductions and stuff like that, and all the new techs and levels to everything. I don't know. That's why I say we're in a mid changed.
Overall, I agree with you big time.
It's going to take a lot of resources and a lot of, time for people to do. I mean, like the thorium. I mean, it is a lot of resources.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it would be nice to have a break in the upgrades, even if it's just for a month. No more upgrades for a while. Give us time to get this stuff done.
What's funny is we all complain about time and upgrades and stuff for this particular Kixeye game, but you go and you play any of the other Kixeye games, and you're talking Battle Pirates, and you're talking Vega Conflict, and those upgrade and build times are ridiculous. You're talking to build a fleet, which is the equivalent of our platoons. We're talking some of the equips and builds take weeks, months.
Yeah, that's I have not played. I've touched base on those a little bit, but
we're fortunate. Let me say that. Yeah. I mean, waiting 5 days for a building thorium upgrade, I'll do that rather than wait 16 weeks for a ship to build.
Yeah, for sure.
Does anyone know what the upgrading of the new build or upgrading of the storage building and the war factory, is that going to increase its health?
Yes, it's an overall increase. It's got a little bit of health. It takes a little less power, and it supplies you with a little bit of a bonus as far as like the War Factory knocks you down, which we talked about 5, 10, 15, and then I'd assume it goes up in increments of 5. Um,
Now, do
but
we know
that's
the health of each building? Because I know for just experience through events and attacks that the hangar, for example, is extremely strong, whereas the War Factory, like one shot, and it's pretty much down.
Yeah,
Right?
I doubt it's going to be any. I don't think it's going to be significantly more. You know, I wouldn't imagine that they would change that part of it because, you know what I mean. That's not going to really make any difference.
Yeah, but that's a full balancing of the whole 50%, 75%, 100% when you start messing with the building health, I think.
Yeah, well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Is there anything else you guys would like to add that has to do with any of the stuff we've been talking about this evening, or anything
No, we're
new
just
that we
really
missed?
talkative, I think, tonight.
Yeah, we
Yes,
have
yes,
been. I
chatty,
mean,
chatty.
Well, but we had a lot of stuff, and I think we got through this stuff better than we got through the other stuff last time.
Yeah, I want to add something for the viewers out there. There is currently a preview going on right now.
Oh,
do you have
snap.
a password
Public.
for us?
The password is actually I posted it out on the Twitch chat. So for anyone that's following the Twitch chat, it's already out there. I posted it out about 10 minutes ago.
Capital L
I
8
just didn't want to distract you
X
guys from it.
J
So
E.
Capital L, what? Say again?
Capital L number
SJE
8
and that's it.
X J E.
S or XJ.
X.
Beautiful.
Did you guys get in? We'll let everybody know if it's still working.
What is it again?
It's still working. I'm in.
L
L
number 8
8
J.
J
Wait, no, X. It's X. Then
X
J
J
E.
E. I'm in.
then,
It's
All
working.
right, it's still working. Get your little butts in there.
for anyone that's following the Jano's Noobs page or the Freedom Flyers, there is going to be another second preview key coming out shortly. So keep an eye on them pages. Plus on the forums as well, on Kickstarter.com forums. I will be posting that on the forums at the same time.
And also, don't forget to join Data with his show on what is it? You introduce it because I don't know all
Battle
this stuff.
Vortex.
There you go.
It's Battle Vortex. Yeah. We start the same time as you guys started tonight, but we're on Wednesday night, so.
So yeah, tomorrow night. All right. Good luck, Commanders, and happy hunting.